Well, everybody knows Richard, MM1BHO. Not everybody knows how he got started in amateur radio. Do you want to tell us?
Well, my first sort of foray into radio was when I was about 15 or 16. I sort of heard this little motorbike popping along, and there's a policeman on a little Velocette motorbike. And these motorbikes were quiet. They're meant to sort of allow the copper to sneak up on people. But the only problem was he had a radio on the back with a loudspeaker. And this loudspeaker obviously squawked away from control, etc, etc. And I thought, that's interesting. How does that work? There's no wires attached. It's coming out of his motorbike, and I thought, that's pretty interesting. So that was my first sort of inclination of radio as such. And I'd be about 10, 15 years later, I came across CB. Back in the 70s it was. And we had these illegal AM radios which we used to have in the car, charging about the countryside, shouting and bawling at each other and carrying on. And that was my sort of introduction to radio proper. But the initial thing was this Velocette motorbike. I can remember it now. A little policeman with his little helmet on, chugging along, PC plod with this thing on the back, and I thought, how can he sneak up on people with that thing going? So that's how I got started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what?
There's more.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay. Then came marriage, then came twins, then came growing up and growing a family, etc, etc. Until about 1990, when we moved I moved to Doncaster and finished up working in a fish and chip shop with my third wife, Maggie. Sorry about that. And into the shop came a chap who got on about CB and radio and stuff, and it turned out we were an amateur, and his call sign was G0 ILM. And it sort of renewed my interest. I thought, oh, yeah, CB, amateur radio, I need to have a go at this. And it took me 5 years, to be quite honest with you, because running the chippy and, you know, just working away, didn't really have time to go to any radio clubs in Doncaster. Until eventually we sold the shop and I moved up here to Scotland. And I thought to myself, right, okay, now's the time I can start looking at amateur radio. So I contacted the RSGB and they put me in touch with the Dumfries Amateur Radio Club. So I thought, whoopee, they meet on I think it was a Wednesday night, I'll go down Wednesday night. Yeah. So off it goes, gets to this pub it was in Lockerbie somewhere in that area. And as I goes in, there's a guy walking out with a hand full of radio equipment. I says, I've come to the radio club. He says, you're too late, we're closing down. so it was like, oh, okay, fine. So I had to start looking for somewhere else to go. Yeah. So, ask me, where did I go?
Where did you go, Richard?
Right, okay, so I was given the name of a chap called Alex Anderson, GM4 VIR, who now sadly passed away. I contacted him and he said, there's an amateur radio club in Stranraer called the Wigtownshire Amateur Radio Club. So I contacted, I can't remember what it was now, but I contacted, who would it have been? I was given the name anyway. I mean, you know, the grey cells artworking like they used to do. I was given this name to contact, and hence I was over here every Thursday night for 2 years, doing a City and Guilds RE with Uncle Jimmy, who's now sadly passed away, and also Uncle Jerry, BE, who's also passed away. It's a worrying thought, it's a worrying trend for amateurs. But and they eventually got me through my City and Guilds RE
Yeah, so this was in the days of one exam, vertical takeoff all the way.
Absolutely, yeah, one exam, and it was in the old school as well, by the way, over at the old academy, which is, it was pulled down and this new one's been built, obviously, but so that's, that was it. I mean, one thing I do remember, particularly with Jimmy, he was a fantastic teacher. He you know, you could ask him anything and you got the answer, but he had this tendency to go drifting off into the Fruc and radar and what they used to do in the old days and this, that and the other. So the sort of lessons were quite entertaining, but that was it basically in a nutshell. That was my introduction, going back right from being a child, listening to this motorbike policeman with his AM radio through to CB, and then finally up here in Dumfries and Galloway, the Wigtownshire Amateur Radio Club.
Yeah, and then it just goes on. It just went on from there, and you make your own way. It
just goes on and on and on. Yeah, I mean, you one thing about this hobby is that you never stop learning. You never stop learning, and you make some nice people.